Hello everybody and welcome back to Roadwarden. Last time we explored all of this. Look at that. We got the heart of the forest and everything. Unfortunately, I was looking at the journal and I realized that to do the hunting over here, we need to get there by the afternoon. And I don't think we're going to be able to do that. Not from over here. So that's a bit of a screw up on my part. So I'm trying to decide what else we can do because we don't really have that option anymore. By the time we get there, I think it'll be too late. We can't really go any faster than we already have. What if we rest? Can I please get back some health? Just take a breather? It'll give us a little vitality back. You'll spend the entire day taking care of smaller chores and allowing your shell and soul to rest. If we do that twice, we can open the door. Should we? I say we'll do it. If we get 3 vitality, we can open that door. There's something behind the door. Turns out the rest was much more necessary than you'd expected. Your belongings are a mess, the sack and blanket have too many holes to count, and you spend a good hour brushing and cleaning your mount. At the end of the day, you're still a bit tired, but at least you feel prepared. Some of the hunters occupied the tower while the rest of the group went after some big game beyond the walls. The open windows fill the hall with refreshing air and the sounds of conversation. The innkeeper is sitting behind the counter cutting vegetables. I'm tempted to sleep, but I'm gonna go to the innkeeper. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? No. Okay. Show me your wares. Elk fur, crossbow, nothing I can afford, unfortunately. Can I sleep here? Rent! Oh, 3 vitality! Then I won't be able to get any dragon bones because we won't have any, but like we really, really need it, especially after going through the forest. I think we're gonna do it. We took a rest day. We'll do it. We'll get back that vitality. We desperately need it. We look like shit. My armor is awful. But you gotta do what you gotta do. The small room is quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. You take a calm bath, rest on a soft mattress, look through the window, and enjoy the minutes of safety. Okay, we're looking good. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden plate bearing an aromatic breakfast, a pie with hare and cabbage, a bowl of plums and grapes, and a cup of mothlawn milk. Downstairs, the innkeeper is putting firewood into the stove. He asks if you need anything. Any leftovers? Ooh, you're lucky. I was planning to give it to the boar. He goes to the stove and in a couple minutes prepares you a meal. Here. You see fresh rye bread and an old grain beer with an intense smell of yeast. While you're eating, he asks if you need anything else. I need armor, but the armor is nowhere in sight, and I don't want to waste any more time. We rested for a whole day. I don't like that we're not above 30 days anymore. Where was the thing again? Where was the cave? It was this? I think it was the old tunnel. We'll risk it. It was. Okay, into the tunnel. Go deep into the tunnel as we can. Open the gate with the huge key. Yes! Easier said than done. Rotating the key alone makes you hold your breath, and as you work at pushing the leaves open, you puff and blow, taking breaks. After it's done, you wipe your sweaty forehead, giving a proud look at the light that has now entered the chamber. Nice! Okay. Map? We opened something. I head back towards the bronze gate. Can I go through now? Chamber is like a battlefield. I go back to Joffrey. Joffrey welcomes you. I can keep going now. Nice! Joffrey welcomes the light on the other side of the tunnel. The road now leads downhill, through the meadows, and towards the village placed alongside the stream. Even from here, you see the smoke, the tall fortress, and the wide walls. You take a look at the crossroad to your left, which is the other end of the detour that leads around the mountain, and partially through it. Exploring the tunnels took a lot of effort, but in the long run it may save you and other travelers a lot of time. The locals may be glad to learn that the tunnel is clear again. Let's find out. Or maybe they're mad at us. It was a locked door. Where are we? You get a good look at the village from a distant hill. It's torn between taming the crags and succumbing to their whims. The gray boulders are like the rotting teeth of a giant, sprinkled around by an ancient spirit. The carved cave mouths are covered with wooden doors. There are only a few windows, and you can only imagine how dark and cold the gouged-out rooms have to be. The buildings and walls, made of logs or stone blocks, must be much younger than the caves. The impressive whitewashed keep standing on top of the hill in the west could just as well have been built in the city. Smoke rises from both sides of the wild river. You see many busy souls as they go about moving tools, food, and timber over the bridge. Your arrival at the Eastern Gate causes some curious glances, but the only person who approaches you is a man who was sitting at a table, discussing something with a few elders. He's carrying a crossbow on his back and a long, rusty knife at his side, but doesn't reach for them. It must be a guard. I dismount. I'm Chill. I'm the Roadwarden. You guys wouldn't know that yet. The man has to be older than 40. He wears an elegant blue-green linen tunic, but no armor. His skin is yellowish, like seaweed seen through a sunbeam. His long gray hair is tied in a ponytail, and his beard is trimmed to half a finger of length. A few large cysts make him look sickly, but his powerful, truculent voice adds to him strength and confidence. Cheers, stranger. You've reached Gale Rocks. You did it. He observes your mount, then looks at the path behind you. I see no caravan from here. Are they coming? He suddenly meets your eyes, and his tone gets even harsher. Or are you here to idle about, I just got here? Okay? I haven't even said hello. I'm gonna eavesdrop, though. You have to get used to some of the local words and phrases that you've only heard coming from the mouths of the oldest city folk. The vast similarities to the tongue of Hovlevin only make these differences more distracting, like a gloss pulled into the core page of a codex. Let's see. Don't worry, friend, I have things to do. I won't bother anyone. Nah, I'll just show you some tricks. I don't think he would like me if I said that. I'm a road warden. I'm here to solve problems, not cause them. Right, now it's you who's wasting my time. Trust me, I have enough problems of my own. We'll just be friendly. I think this is the nicest way of saying I am here to do stuff. Every other one seems kind of mean or asshole behavior. This guy doesn't seem like he'd enjoy a joke, is what I'm trying to say. Don't worry, friend. I have things to do. I won't bother anyone. He takes a step closer and examines your appearance. I look alright. Then shrugs. And who are you then? You don't look like you're a part of the caravan. And I don't have to let you in. Neither here, he points behind him, nor there, he nods towards the western gate. I'm the Roadwarden, idiots! Another Roadwarden? Are all of them parents in the south too dumb to teach their kids how to keep their fingers in their own pots? He shakes his head with exaggerated motions and looks at the elders at the table. A Roadwarden, see that? Trying to cut the conversation short, you tell Joffrey to follow you inside, but you're stopped right away. Leave it by the walls until it's nightfall, right? We ain't cleaning our roads after any drifters, bards, or adventurers. He speaks with growing disgust. Don't worry, we'll keep an eye on it. Oh, I'm sorry, Joffrey. Everyone's so mean to Joffrey. You tether your horse to the stems of a shrub and the man nods with approval, then turns around. This one seems like something that Asterion would say, because they said another Roadwarden, so they probably know something about him. So I'll just say, can you tell me anything about the village? He stops in place, then glances at your boots. Right, we fish, we salt fish, we sell fish. Our brave ones trade barrels for whatever we can get to other villages, but he shrugs. Not much else to it, you see. Life here is slow. Without another word, he returns to the group of the elders, where he helps one of them remove bones from their meal. You go to the gatekeeper. Why would I go to the gatekeeper? Wasn't there someone I was supposed to talk to here? Okay, look for a fisher named Photius, a young father. I'm meant to collect his debt, a male empress carp. Okay. Oh, yeah, let's see if anybody's looking for romance. While the vast majority of the locals see this place as their home and even feel indebted to their families and neighbors for looking after them, Paulus seeks a different path. He isn't even 20, but trained to work on the beach, is strong, slim, and a bit loud. I can even hunt fish if that's the only work left, he admits when asked about his plans for the future. Just not here. Not after all them neighbors turned a blind eye toward my harpy of a mother. He reveals the scars on his back, left by willow wisps. You mention religion, and he shrugs without a second thought. I can do whatever, barring wicked spells. You make sure he means necromancy and blood magic. Right. All I want is a companion for the mornings and evenings. A woman with a kind soul, and if good winds allow us, to be the mother of our children. I'm ready to work for them till I faint. He flexes his muscles. I'd gauge my arm for that. Marina is a few years older, but much shorter, pale, and with dark circles under her eyes. While she hopes to find a wife or a husband, she won't leave the village. I have a 6-year-old. His father went into the fogs on a foraging trip. I'd love to have more kids, but my forebears have been living in this village for longer than anyone can tell, and I'd rather not make our blood too thick. You ask about what sort of trait she's looking for. Someone kind, loyal, serious, and diligent, no matter if they're a water carrier or an artisan. My own back is weak, it is. Suffers after standing for long hours. I help with fish smoking, cleaning, foraging, whatever there is to do. When asked about her conviction, she looks at you as if the question is beyond absurd. I won't lie with a lad or lass that's a stranger to the right's teachings. Okay. Paulus, let's see. Matchmaking. Looking for a hardworking man who'd like to marry her according to the traditions of her ancestors, then either move in with her or take her to a new home. Paulus seeks a new home, willing to work hard. Timo and Paulus could be a good match. Marina, willing to move in with her and her son, only interested in Wright's followers. Shoshi wants a... What is the right? What is the right? Because I don't know if Shoshi and Marina would get along. I need to look at the rules of the right again. Every believer ought to be ready to sacrifice their life. All humans will be judged by their deeds. It doesn't say anything about marriage. But I think Timo and Paulus could be a good match. Is there a... Where have we been? Okay, we've been to Creeks. Druids. We've been to Gale Rocks. I went through the heart of the forest. Hunters from the Pelt. Hovlevin. We went to Howler's Dell. We can't get into Old Pagos. Maybe there's someone from Old Pagos who needs help? Or who wants to marry someone once they're no longer sick and dying? So let me just save real quick, and I'll talk to Paulus. He asks you a few additional questions, some of which are centered around Timo's face and figure and spoken with embarrassment, then flashes you with a wide smile. Right, she sounds dreamy. If she's in, I'm in. Let me know what she thinks about me. Oh, I've got to go back and forth. Can't you guys just, go there yourselves? Well, then I would be out of a job, wouldn't I? Let's see if you would like if Marina would like Shoshi. Probably not. She looks around nervously, and her voice is low and hesitant. An open relationship? As if, seeing her blush, you nod. Our forebears wouldn't encourage such a way of living. Does she pray? When you mention that her village in general seems to not put much importance on matters of faith, she seems to lose hope. Is she pretty at all? She says without meeting your eyes. You try to answer some more specific questions, making her interest suddenly grow. If she's really looking for safe, slow days, ask her if she's willing to abandon this weird wish. Tell her... She pauses, then straightens up and speaks with confidence, as if she's reciting an old story. Tell her this, outsider. You can find love of soul and shell with me, and a new path free of empty cravings. You will never look back and regret it. I think I should find someone else for Shoshi. I don't think I should give her to you. You shouldn't force someone to change their beliefs just to be with you. Okay, I don't know who the gatekeeper is. I'm assuming that's the guy I just talked to, but I'm looking for someone. I could learn more about the village, about the wares this village has to offer. That's true. But before I do that, what was the name of the carp again? Oh, Photios. Okay. I'm looking for Photios. You're told that the fishers spend long hours at the beach in the north and can be found in the village only during very early or very late hours unless the weather makes fishing too dangerous. Okay. Am I looking for anyone else? Oh! I'm dumb. Asterion. Right, you're wardening, friend. A guard you speak with doesn't hide her contempt. He ain't been here for many days, almost since the start of the season. You ask where you could find him, but she gives you a bored shrug and walks away. You ask other folks as well, but they don't have much more to say. He did some small jobs for a few of us, says the salt worker without meeting your eyes, too busy throwing firewood into a basket. The last soul, he suddenly freezes, then looks around. We are the last people to ask, I mean. You try to push him into sharing more, but he finds an escape when his overseer shouts at him to get his ass moving. Oh my god. Everybody just needs to talk to me. I'm not gonna tell anyone anything. I just need help. Oh, maybe I could ask them about the hunters. Maybe I could ask about Glaucia? See if anyone knows anything. She's not here. Ain't been here in many months, says an animal keeper. Right? If you want to speak with her, find her on your own. You ask in a few other places as well, and while everyone else seems to confirm these words, you notice you don't have to explain who she is. Not even once. Ooh, that's interesting. Admon and Dahlia. Has anyone seen Dahlia? While some of the locals claim to know the hunters from the creeks, they haven't seen them in recent days. What about Ashen? Or is it going to be the same? You don't find them, or I can't understand you? Oh, admin, sorry. Admin. Neither of the hunters had been spotted by the village since the last time you asked. Okay, so it counted for both of them. No, okay. I don't think I can ask about anyone else. Fu young workers burst into laughter as one of them curls up in pain, holding her hurt thumb. You go... Let's see. Oh, they scowl at me when I ask about Asterion? Okay, not nice. Let me talk to the gatekeeper then. The guard you met when you first arrived in the village is leaning against a wall, observing both the gates and your mount. Whenever Joffrey snorts, the gatekeeper reaches for his axe. Hey! Leave my horse alone! He sighs when he notices your gaze. What? I encountered undead in the tunnel south from here. Right, they almost got my wife, they did, when she tried to check out the locked passage. We stay away from there, but talk to our digger. She's there with her toys. He steps away from the wall and looks at the nearest table, where an elderly woman is putting together a humble structure from wooden building blocks. The digger? There with her toys. Okay. I'll talk to her. Have you heard about the plague that has fallen upon Old Pagos? The plague? His voice is close to a shout, and a few people glance towards the two of you. The guard grows pale. Better take it to our head woman, Warden. We were planning to trade with them, we were. Alright. I kinda wanna ask this one, but I won't, because that's mean. Okay. Let's talk to the digger. The locals explain that the centuries-old cave needs little work, and the humble fixes they put into the walls and sheds are taken care of whenever such need arises. After a few minutes of chatting, one of the children leads you to an elderly woman responsible for looking after the condition of them buildings. The digger called Yuno, already wrinkled, gray-haired, and slightly stooped. She's sitting at the eastern gate, placing tiny building blocks on a table, raising a tall tower without making it collapse. Her hands are steady and precise, and her large eyes blink so rarely that you want to rub your own. She spares you a look and leans back, resting against the wall, then crosses her arms and critically observes her toys. Cheers, stranger. I have time. The tunnel in the south is open again. The undead are gone. As Yuno shakes the table, her toy structures fall apart. Merely like that? You cleared all them woken on your own? Barely, and only in, like, the 17th timeline. After your nod, she looks at your axe, then at her toys. Better tell our head woman about it, and I'll talk with the others. We can move to some serious work in the spring, but it would be better for us to do the groundwork before snow falls. She shuffles the wooden blocks and moves them into a single row. And if the tunnel is somewhat safe, could you take a closer look at it? Inspect the chambers? Report to me and I'll ask one of my neighbors to give you an easier time. Even though she seems to put no thought into it, the blocks are now ordered from the brightest to the darkest. I actually already did that. I explored the entirety of the tunnel. After your initial report, Luno? Is it Luno? Comes up with one question after another, and while some of them are specific and significant, others are absurdly simple, as if she's making sure you're not lying to her. You don't know all the answers, but in the end she smiles at you, clapping her hands without a sound. With that, we can gather timber, rocks, and tools, and I already know which ones will be just perfect. Cheers, Roadwarden. If you want, I can ask one of my neighbors to repay your hard work, and not just once. Ooh. Oh, that would be so good. I may need a boat one day. Oh, is that to, like, get out of here? Maybe, but right now, we look really bad. I need repairs on my Gambeson. Right. She starts to build a wall with the wooden blocks. I'll speak with Rufuna, the tailor. Okay, Rufina, sorry. So I'll go talk to her too. Tell me more about the tunnel. It's older than any human soul, it is, but not ancient. Those who dug through the mountain were still around when I was but a small lass. The village saved everything it got from trade for more than a generation to bring the bronze gate from Hovlevin here. The pickaxes and all them tools and nails. It has a single long corridor that reaches from one end to the other, and a few chambers on both sides where travelers used to spend a night if they were desperate enough. Don't try it without a group of guards now. Monsters love deep caves also, and the days are getting colder. Yeah, how comes it's locked in the first place? That gate is huge! It depends on who you ask. Let's just say that a great turmoil happened 10 years ago, right? The settlements grew further apart, traded less. Keeping a garrison of fighters and builders at the tunnel brought little value. We had to put greater trust in our own work, not in the caravans. Once again, foraging, cutting trees, and farming. With time, more and more beasts gathered around the tunnel, getting used to seeing no pushback. She looks at an old plank that's been resting behind her stool. She compares its thickness with her toys, then reaches for a gouge and a handsaw. It was 3 years back when a few traders of ours went missing. Our searching group found the gate locked from the inside. They tried to check it, but left the place when they saw moving shelves, dead and fleshless. We've decided to clean it someday in the future, maybe hire a group of strangers to take the risk themselves. She glances at you, but so far none have reached our village. Well, it's a good thing I showed up. I was told you're the one who looks after the local construction works. That's pretty much right. She glances at the spread wooden blocks. Every few springs or summer, I gather a crew to build something new, or rather replace an old hovel with something fresh, but most of the days I just make sure that roofs don't fall on our heads, and that the cribbing in the caves ain't too moist. Then the coopers help me, or a bunch of fishers. She gives her axe a long look, then reaches for her much smaller hatchet and shaves one of her toys slightly, narrowing it. For centuries, there's been merely one digger at a time, and this custom serves us well, it does. I'm with merchants. Do you have enough building materials for your needs? Better ask the coopers. They're struggling with timber. The good thing about digging in hills is that we always have enough stone. Our rocks are crude, but we don't need to sculpt. Just pile them on. She turns a few building blocks into a small wall. Wasn't there something about that? I'm pretty sure somebody was looking for timber. Oh, White Marshes was selling lumber. Maybe I can help them with that? Technically, Howler's Dell is too, but I'll see if I can talk to White Marshes about it. Did your crew build that keep on the hill? It must have taken you many years. She looks in its direction. The whitewashed walls make it look brighter than many clouds. We started when I was only a teen, still learning from the previous digger. Her voice is full of pride. There used to be a humble watchtower there with tents around it. Now we can all stay locked up inside thick walls, but also shoot arrows from the wall, roof, and windows. You ask her if the keep has ever been used by the locals in combat, and she suddenly grows disheartened. You would be surprised, you would. There are tales of dragons, pirates, and bandits. But those all happened before the war. Those lands were different, though I can't say exactly how. A digger is an unusual name for your trade. And what would be a usual name in the city? A builder? After you shrug, Iono gasps one of her wooden blocks like a dagger. Our forebears used to, dig in rocks, widening the caves, and it was a name with great honor behind it. When I look around, she does so, as if to prove her point, it reminds me of our long path, from hiding to thriving, and on the surface. She can't hide her smile. Hey, understandable, farewell. The shouted commands of overseers make you look around anxiously. Let me see. I'm looking for... What was the name of the person I was supposed to talk to? R. Dang it. Thought that would work. Head woman. Our head woman is in the keep, says a young basket weaver with legs too short and thin for her to stand on. But she's not very patient with strangers, she's not, or with loud neighbors. You thank her with a nod and head to the hill on the western bank, walking past the big kitchen. Oh, it was the tailor! That's who I was supposed to talk to. We'll do that later. The steep path leads through an open, unguarded gate. As you look around the yard, you noticed a few pigeons running around, keenly observed by a pet griffin tied to a wooden beam, some drying underwear hanging from a rope, a spiked flail leaning against the wall carelessly, and a knocked-over bucket lying in a puddle of water. The place may be messy, but it's not impaired in its function. Preparing it for defense wouldn't take longer than a few minutes, and judging by the wall walk of the bailey, it could stand an attack from a large squad of soldiers. The current state of the place makes you think of Hovlevin, whose stronghold yards and temple walls are often surrounded by small peddlers, a few of which are even allowed to set up their stalls. As long as they don't hinder anyone else's tasks, they're allowed to pursue the scarce scraps of open space. Look at the keep. The bright walls stand out from other structures in the village, and as far as you can tell, the current layer of whitewash is still fresh. There must be at least 3 floors inside, enough space to contain more than 100 people, though without much between them. There are arrow slits in the walls, and the roof is surrounded by a fence-like barrier, a perfect spot for boulder throwers and archers. The large entrance door is ajar, with a wrinkled man sitting on a pillow placed on the stairs. He's not wearing a gambeson, but the fine, steel sickle sword at his side makes it clear he's not just a regular guard. He stops what Abe is doing, carving a figurine from a log, and stands up to greet you. Cheers, Roadwarden. Severina was told about your arrival. Follow me. He may be old, but he is tall, with the long and thin arms of a sea folk, a neatly groomed beard, and his gray hair in a ponytail. As you follow him, you're hit by the strong scent of cloves. The door is thick and can be barricaded with 2 wooden bars. The hall is filled with benches, some of which are placed on top of the others, giving a more space for now. There is one path to the next floor, suspiciously covered with planks. The chamber is free of the roaring of the river, with the shouts of the workers, the chaos of the animals, or the smell of cooked food. The room is well lit both by sunlight and candles, and quite drafty, though you still smell perfumes and aging wood. You doubt anyone lives here or even uses this room for dining. "The Roadwarden is here," says the guard and approaches the desk, standing between you and the old woman sitting behind it. Take a closer look. So far, she hasn't spared you as much of a glance. She's writing on a large wax tablet with a stylus as large as a dagger, and since she's a bit stooped, you can only see her from the chest up. She's wearing a thick, warm dress the color of a cherry, and an even darker, modest hat that's covering up her hair. She could be older than 70, yet her face and hands have been spared from scars harsher than some pockmarks carved by illnesses. If you were to encounter her in Hovlevin, you would expect her to be an official, or maybe a rich scribe. Some of her belongings, however, wouldn't be found at the city's desks. The wax of her tablet isn't dyed. Instead of keeping water in a cup, she has a large colorful seashell, and the winged hourglass placed on a stone stand is made of dried seaweed. Oh, there's a young woman in the corner. Her crossbow is pointing at you! The resemblance between her and the elder is stunning, though she's slim and a bit taller and wears a simple dark blue and black woolen tunic. While she's resting on a chair, she looks at you without almost blinking, with hardly any movement, like a cat staring at a rat, trying to judge if you're defenseless prey or a threat. Maybe we'd be friendly. Nice to meet you, Saravina. I came to see if your village needs any help from a Roadwarden. Considering the effort put into this building keep, I expected a bit of a larger garrison. No. Greetings, cheers, headwoman. Pat my axe. You skipped. Don't do that. Just don't do that. I'm sorry to intrude. No, cheers, headwoman. She raises her violet eyes slowly and looks at you kindly, putting away her stylus. Cheers, Roadwarden. She speaks with a hint of amusement, but it only lasts so long as those two words. I expect there's something only I can help you with. After a short pause, she clasps her hands on the desk. Let's hear it. Her accent is not as thick as that among the younger villagers, keeping a shadow of the years when the guild had tighter ties with the peninsula. But since she has no teeth, you have to think for a moment before you recognize some of her words. Let's see. I put the gate key on her desk. The undead from your tunnel are gone. As she drags the key over to the desk, it looks comically large in her tiny hand. Now, would you look at that, she says to no one in particular, then looks you in the eyes. You face this threat for no good reason. I need long-term solutions, not witless violence, and sooner or later, another threat will take the place of the Awoken. The tunnel could just as well stay occupied. At least no vagabonds would take it over. She scratches the desk with the key, thinking, but I ain't going to deny that it opens some opportunities. My neighbors are going to appreciate your selfless efforts. She tries to push the key into the nearby bags, but it is suddenly interrupted by the voice of the perfumed guard who speaks directly to you. I used to be the head of the garrison that kept the tunnel safe. He steps towards you. Until it was left to itself 10 years ago against my advice. I don't care if you're a Roadwarden, an adventurer, or a drifter. You deserve a reward, and if our head woman ain't willing to reward your contribution... He reaches for the belt that holds his sickle sword, and Severina, with unmasked frustration, tells him to hold it. Don't get so dramatic. Here. She tosses a small pouch, and it lands at the edge of the desk. 10 should be enough, considering you weren't asked to move as much as a finger. Scat and talk to Yono, our digger. She'll have some grand plans coming to her soul. Maybe you'll manage to keep them on a leash. Oh, wait. 10 what? 10 dragon bones? 10 dragon bones? Is that 10 dragon bones? I already talked with her. I'm just here to leave the key with you. Give me bones. Whoa! That's the most money we've ever had. Oh my god. We're rich. Let me look at the map. What are we talking about? Watchtower? Is that the where's the watchtower? What watchtower are they talking about? Is that where? Oh, is it that? I don't know. The village of Old Pagos is struggling with the plague and isolates itself from trade and travelers. I should tell you about that. She looks at the perfumed man, who's standing with an open mouth. You glance at the crossbow woman, who has lowered her weapon. The head woman, still without a word, leans forward and rests her forehead on the back of her hand. Her guard tries to speak, but she looks at him with sorrow. Let me think, she states, and after less than a minute, tells him to gather the council once your meeting is over. Uh-oh. I say nothing. That's not good. She glances at the exit. Is she getting impatient with me already? Did the village face any struggles with the bandits? I'm trying to figure that out. She looks at her guard, then around her. Have you noticed where we are? We're safe enough to fight a dragon, and if there are any bandits in our woods, they eat nothing barring timber and worms. Whenever we trade, we send groups of 10, 20 souls strong, enough to push away a few footpads. Alright. Have you seen Asterion recently? He's also a Roadwarden. She shrugs and reaches for one of the candles, casting better light on one of her smaller wax tablets. I know who he is, but I've only spoken with him a few times, and heard that he stopped visiting the village at the beginning of the summer. If he was around, I would know about it, I would. You mentioned that you doubt a Roadwarden would simply ignore a headwoman of such a large village, and she looks at the ceiling, chewing on her bottom lip. I don't know what you're trying to imply, she says with a tone that won't accept any discussion. I had as much in common with him as I have with you. I don't trust strangers with crucial tasks, and if a warden of any kind wants to demonstrate that they know what they're doing, I invite them to survive a year or two before they bark. Okay. My patience runs short, outsider. Severina gestures for you to pause. Are you sure other matters can't wait till tomorrow? I wanted to get into the watchtower, but maybe we wait. I need to come back anyway. Because I think I need to get that carp in order to help Gale Rocks, and it sounds like she really needs to talk to her council about Old Pagos. Farewell. Okay. Oh, you hear angry shouts coming from one of the rock-carved houses, but they suddenly stop. Okay. Well, let me... Taylor. I forgot your name, I'm sorry. There we go. You get directions to one of the smaller buildings, which turns out to consist of only one spacious chamber. Like the other caves in the village, it lacks sunlight, but the workbench standing right to the entrance is well lit by an oil lamp. An old iron lantern is decorated with the shapes of seaweed and monstrous tentacles. On the counter you see threads, scraps of clothes, old tunics, and some boots. Behind it there's a mature woman, though you can't precisely guess her age. The flame, dancing because of your movements, distorts the shadow cast by her wrinkles, and a large nose. Her bright red tunic is light, made with something lighter than hemp or wool. The sleeves end at her elbows, allowing her hands to sew together 2 pieces of fabric. Greetings! She runs her dark yellow eyes over your clothes. What clothes? Her hair may be getting gray, but the colorful wooden beads among them distract you right away. Cheers, stranger. You need something patched up? After you nod, she looks deeper into the store. Good, as I'm better at fixing tears than making togs. Take a look. Indeed, while there's plenty of shelves and cupboards covered with pants, tunics, jackets, robes, hats, boots, and bags, many of them seem old, or made from 2 or 3 combined pieces of garment. We buy outfits from other villages, explains the tailor, maintaining her bored tone, and as they get worn and damaged, I turn them into something new. After you explain that you were promised a free service, she gives you another glance. You're the Roadwarden? Right, I'll look after your armor for no fee a few times, but nothing more. Work I put into your stuff takes away hours of what could have been done for my neighbors, and we merely need you alive, not pretty. I mean, you're not wrong. Let's see. Do you have anything for sale? My neighbors walk in and put whatever they feel like wearing, but I ain't wasting our fabric on outsiders. Maybe you'd like some jewelry? When you mentioned you'd rather take something useful for a traveler, she hesitates. Well, if you really need, I can pack you some old tools of mine. They'd help you fix your armor and togs without anyone's help, though it ain't as easy as you would think. Ooh. Okay, Gambison repairs, outfit repairs, a Gambison repair set. That's pretty good. Winged hourglass, loyalty to the right, a sewing kit. Well, I'm gonna patch my Gambison. Jacket as good as this tailor could make it. Okay, we're good, and we still have some repairs left. Let's see. Oh, the repair set would be really good, but I think we're gonna wait. I'm hoping I might get more dragon bones, and then I can hold on to it, because I think I'm gonna be moving back and forth a little bit right now. The bone ring looks like... Oh, here! Do you want this bone ring? It looks like something from here. She moves it to the light, widens her eyes, and speaks with melancholy. I made it myself, I did, as a little lass. For someone who used to be madly in love, but is now taken by the storms. He was better at digging than sailing. She puts the ring on the counter. His wife is still around, though. Leave it with me for 2 coins? It will mean a lot to her. Yeah, take it. Much appreciated. She takes out 2 dragon bones from a box that's indistinguishable from the one with fasteners, then leaves your ring on the counter. Was I supposed to do that? Maybe, maybe not. 2 hours before dusk. Okay. I head outside. Let's see if I can find the freaking guy now. It's almost dusk. He should be back soon, right? I need that carp, man! There we go! You approach a group of workers who are loading barrels onto a cart, close to the log-made bridge. Photius is there, one of them tells you, and points to the tallest man, dressed in undyed wool and linen. He's discussing something with a group of workers, but as you head in his direction, he nods for you to join him on the side. His outfit is heavy, appropriately so for someone who spends long hours under the hits of the cold onshore winds. The massive leather boots, thick tunic and pants, and the heavy cloak now held under his arm make you wonder if he'd even be able to swim. Like most sea folk, he has long limbs, almost no facial hair, and ears so flat they are hardly noticeable. His neck draws your eyes as it's covered with marks left by the burning suckers of a sea monster, as wide as your finger is long. Below these scars, he's wearing a pendant made from a fist-sized black beak. He speaks first, with the strong and confident voice of a young man, no older than 25. We don't really sell any catch on our own. Maybe ask our smokers or the cook. Actually, punk, I'm here for you. And who are you exactly? After you introduce yourself, the man raises the corner of his mouth in an angry grimace. I won't have much to tell you, Roadwarden. Like my neighbors. He looks at the nearby fishers. I struggle with day-to-day living, I do. Not adventurers, and even less so outsiders' schemes. Oh, really? I was sent here by an old druid from the south. He claims you owe him a male empress carp. What? I owe nothing to that fool. I can have it here tomorrow if you want, but better have the coin with you. I need to ask someone to look for it with a net, and that will take hours. Well, how much gold is it? Do you have work for me? Work? What do you know about fishing? You mentioned the docks of Havlavan, but after a few questions about fishing nets, boats, and winds, it's clear you don't impress in this conversation. Teaching one how to work with us takes time, effort, and rescuing those who fall overboard. You ain't a kid of ours, so if anything, it should be you who pays us for sharing what our forebears have mastered. You explain that you can fight better than most, and that gives him an idea. Our guards stay at the village, so we always move in groups and waste time securing the beach from harpies and saurians, we do. We could put 3 more souls on the boat and keep you on the beach. You'd guard those not fishing with nets. Alright, what's in it for me? How much do you want, stranger? He responds carefully, and you spend a few minutes discussing the details. Right, you'll get a meal and 2 coins for a peaceful day and another one for putting your life at risk, he summarizes. But you must be at the beach soon after dawn, while we're preparing our boats, and have enough strength to convince me you'll be more of a help than a bother, alright? Okay, I see. Well, that's more coins. I'm glad I didn't buy the repair kit. The Empress Carp is gonna be here tomorrow. So we'll get that, and then we'll go to the old man in the south, give him the carp, and then, if we have the money, hopefully we have the money, give him the carp, then we'll come back, and we will hopefully heal people. Let's see. A few workers sing a lively tune, and many others nod to the rhythm. Is there an inn? I can't get anywhere. I guess I could get to Foggy Lake. I could rest there and then come back. Is it risky to go there? Can't really go anywhere else, though. Innkeeper? Okay. That's enough for now. Let me just see what it would be to sleep here. You ask for an inn. While the guards explain to you that the village doesn't run such a place, you should visit Fulvia, who may have a room to spare. Directions? Following the instructions, you reach a building with an entrance from the garden side. You step through the door leading into the mouth of the cave and call the person you were told to speak with, Fulvia, the roomkeeper. She comes to you from the half-dark corridor. She fits the description you heard, slightly round, partially because of the tunic, and heavy pants hidden beneath the dark green robe. She looks like an eccentric city priest, what with the massive hourglass made of beautifully polished driftwood she wears, and the kerchief covering both her neck and her hair. Okay, so she worships the right. One feature that hasn't been mentioned by the locals are her eyes. Gray, asymmetrical, partially closed, and unfocused. Once she gets closer, she turns her head, gazing into the rock and pointing her left ear at you. Her steps are confident, and her hands keep touching the walls on both sides. She's old, wrinkled, and pale, but her voice remains strong. Your first instinct is to nod, only then realizing it won't really help you much. She repeats, "You smell of a horse. Room?" "Yes." "Right." She simply walks down the corridor, between the few humble chambers, some of which are inhabited by sleeping souls. After just a few steps, the light coming from the entrance helps you no more. You follow the sounds of boots and the smell of rosemary perfume. Then, suddenly, you hear a rock hitting something made of metal. The lit candle makes you sigh with relief. What color? After a quiet moment, she tries again. The horse coat. He's gray. I'm picking gray because in Red Dead Redemption 2, I did the bounty hunting quest where you fight Benedict Albright and I stole his horse. Was it Benedict? It was like one of the first bounties you do. I stole his horse, the really like dappled gray one, and I loved her. I named her Aurora, I think. Like Aurora Borealis. It wasn't a Simpsons joke at the time, but now that I think of it, that's all I could think of. Gray. She lets out a surprised grunt. So far from the growing mountains. I guess there are some gray hills around here. The room is far from comforting. The ceiling is only a head above you, the walls are rounded and bare of any decorations, and the only chests looks more like a crude crate. At least the dried grasses covering the sleeping pallet are bug-free, and smell of freshness. You don't have to share it, she says with amusement. How much for this delight? She chuckles and still turns to you with her profile. Don't worry, you won't be cold and we don't let anything mold in here. I have a nose for it, she demonstrates with a loud sniff. You can work for the village for merely a few hours in the morning, move some weights around, or you can pay me 2 coins. I won't take less for I need none at all. I'll just throw it into Severina's chest in a few days. Okay. I'll sleep here. Rent. Okay, we can do that or we can do labor. That's gonna make us really dirty. Elder allows you to spend the night in crude conditions. In return, she requires absurd payment or half a day of your labor. Oh, yeah. Oh, but I don't know. Hang on. How much is it to sleep at Foggy Lake again? I could also get to the creeks. Shockingly. I could actually get... Oh, no. I think I can't travel right now. Let's see. I could still get to Foggy Lake and then just come back. We'll do it. It'll be probably more restful here. The foragers are preparing for the night. Yeah, we missed it. The light shines on the water and the empty road. With no herbal beds or travelers in sight, the tavern looks like an abandoned hamlet. The tavern's windows and doors are open, and a bunch of furs are spread over the fence. We're fighting bugs, says the shorter man when he sees you. Alright, good to know. Yeah, 1 thing of rent. Rent 2 rations. Oh, I only have 2 rations, though. Sleeping in the main hall. Sleeping in the attic. I'm so worried about how much this carp is gonna be. But I really don't want to lose vitality either. I just got it back. We'll do this. I can eat a ration. We'll sleep in the attic. The rains once again hit the ground, interrupting your sleep. Another day of muddy roads. It's fine. Okay, we're nice and full. Listening to the grunts of the annoyed Joffrey makes you feel uneasy, but at least the furs covering the floor are helping you relax. You don't even notice when it's already morning, and while the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting, at least it's not you who has to take care of it. True. Okay. Let's go, travel, and get here quickly. The muddy roads. Oh, great. Don't tell me we're gonna have to spend another day here. Ah! I should have just stayed at the village. Alright, well, we're gonna have to come here either late at night or... I should have just stayed here. I'm dumb. I should have just stayed here. Well, then maybe we'll travel somewhere else or come back. We'll have to come back late. Let me see. I guess I could rest here, but probably not. Maybe I could talk to Severina? Let's talk to Severina one more time and see if we can learn anything. Let's see. You're asked to enter. Okay, follow him inside. I'd like to get inside the watchtower standing at the eastern road. I'm gonna save because I feel like you're gonna get mad at me. Why would I give you a key? You mentioned that looking after roadside shelters is a part of your responsibilities. She and the perfumed guard exchange looks, and once he confirms that they have a few spare keys at hand, she asks her granddaughter to fetch one. Soon, a cold iron object, not much larger than your finger, is placed in your hand. I trust you with it because I've heard good things about you, I have, adds Severina, but don't expect me to give you another one if you lose it. Alright, thank you. Also, do you have any work for me? She runs her eyes over you, then frowns without as much of a hint of subtlety. Show me first that you're worth something. Work with our fishers. Find someone seeking a messenger. I don't need a stranger before autumn, when we'll trade for winter grain. Okay, alright. Well, there is something we can do while we wait for time to pass, so we've got 11 hours and 45 minutes. What if we go and let somebody know about the romance going on? Who wanted romance again? Because we'll need to come back anyway. Who was it? This matchmaking stuff is confusing. Howler's Dell. Timo and Paulus. Okay, so we need to run to Howler's Dell. Where's Howler's Dell again? Oh, there it is. Okay. 7 hours? Oh, because of the muddy roads. There's no way we'll get back in time. Okay, we can't do that. Where can I go? Oh, this is such a waste of a day. Oh, can we go further? I guess we can. Should we? I mean, we might as well try, right? See what we see, and then we'll go back if we need to. Because we could keep going this way. I didn't even realize. Let's see what happens. Oh, gosh. The roar of the— oh! Reached the sea! We reached the sea! The roar of the sea reached you first, then the cold wind and the light. There are hardly any shrubs nearby as you ride downhill toward the white and gold beach. The sunbeams hit you with full force. The sea here is not like the one from Havlevin's port. The harbor and waters most people see during their busy days are full of life. Ships, warehouses, traders, dockers, and of course there's Sickle, the barrier island that provides the city with its lagoon, but also serves as a home to dozens of species of birds, monkeys, and rodents. For most people, the sea is never silent. But if one travels to Sickle and looks west, or embarks on a boat and sails away, there's yet another view, a very different one. The never-ending blue, the emptiness, the humming waves, the monsters swimming to the surface just to take a breath, not even interested in the wooden vessels. Many say that if one jumps off a ship with a heavy stone, they will drown before they touch the seabed. Here, however, the water can't be separated from the rocks that cut through it, like a swarm of mushrooms in a dark forest. Their shapes and sizes vary, but it's their number that makes them unusual. If you were to name each one, you'd have to make up at least half the names. There's no doubt where the name of Gale Rocks comes from. The stones piercing through the surface of the water are shaped like the beast's fangs, as if they're asking the ship to dare and test their strength. Yeah, keep to the greener parts of the beach. Ooh! The fishers are here! Okay, maybe I could talk to them. You follow the sharp turn to the right. The road remains broad enough for carts and wagons and avoids the sands, letting Joffrey trot without disturbances. The grasses to the east and south are short, and hardly any shrubs have managed to oppose the harsh winds. The human activity you witness is intense. A large barge is resting on the river, immobilized by the ropes and wooden posts, and you see a few people foraging at the beach and in the grasses. Even more people, most of them without wrinkles, are gathered at the pier, where they prepare their boats and nets and talk about their plans for the following hours. You reach the end of the beaten path, getting to the stone-made pier, just next to a small, dolman-shaped shed. Only the door seems to be fairly new, and you don't doubt that both of the structures have been repaired many times in the past, crumbling under the touch of the waves. Hey, fishers! Oh, here we go. Photius inspects the equipment and discusses future plans with the workers on the coast. Did you catch the empress carp? Right, and a few of them, but most of them females. He approaches the nearby shed and brings you a bucket covered with lids that are held by hemp cords. He lets you hold it for a bit. It's heavy and its weight shifts, as if filled with water. You'll need to deliver it quickly, or it's going to choke itself to death. Or die of hunger. I don't know much about keeping a fish alive, but if it dies, I sell you another one for another coin. Oh, 1 dragon bone? Alright. Shit. How long will it take us to get there? We could probably make it in time. If it was 7 hours to get here, we could probably make it. Just barely. I'll pay him a dragon bone. Let's do this. He raises his hand to scratch his neck, but stops himself before he does so and lets an annoyed sigh. Alright, I can't help you with fishing today. I gotta go. See you later. You lead Joffrey back to the road. Ooh, education? Looking through the pieces of driftwood, they could be useful in an alchemy table. We have to do that later. 9 hours. To the Elder's Cave. A family of deer you met some days ago has returned to the pond, this time accompanied by more members of their pack. One buck towers over all the others, with antlers as large as your palfrey. It takes a few steps towards you, shaking its head. You better stay where you are. You observe their curious, lazy glances, while the adults quench their thirst. The young ones are playing in the tall grasses, or basking in the middle of the road. It takes quite a few minutes before the large beast orders the others to head back into the woods. Its bellow is like a falling boulder. I will wait, I'm patient, and they are beautiful. Admire them. We made it, we made it, we made it! Okay. A flock of colorful birds is circling the sky. The old Druid is resting on the bench and welcomes you with a new interest in his voice. Words of the help you've shown to my neighbors from Howler's Dell have reached me, traveler. Good, very good. I'm always ready to do the right thing. He vaguely grunts. I brought what you asked for. He looks inside the bucket quickly, then gives you a big smile. Now I'm in your debt, traveler. Let me know if you need a healing touch. He closes the bucket again and puts it on the bench. I don't, but I think I know some people who do. I bring news from old Pagos. A terrible plague has fallen upon it. His eyes widen. What did you say? A plague? You tell him everything you've heard about the symptoms. He attentively observes your lips and sometimes asks you to clarify some details. Though you usually don't know how to answer him, he finally nods, then turns away and approaches the garden beds, lost in his thoughts. You wait in silence. He speaks after a short break. There's nothing I can do. His words are trembling. Is there anything I can do? He strokes his beard and examines your equipment. There may be. You can help me cast a spell of great power, but it will take much. You would nae dare, and you'd have to give up a grand reward. 'Tis a quest for a hero, nay a messenger, and there are nae heroes. Tell me more. Before you finish, he turns away from you and looks at the falling water. Then listen. Help me awaken the Beholder, the good totem from the swamp. You've already passed its altar in the crossroads north from here. It needs to be fed, and it only feasts on spirits. The pneuma held in human blood, the magic locked in items. Offer them, and it will answer your call. But 'tis a hungry being, and it will nae be nurtured by a single gift. Who knows how much it wants? So it's the tree! He carries on without pausing, as if he's speaking from memory. But let it grow, and it will reward you. Take its holy seed, and bring it back to me. I'll enter the village, and through the totem's power, I'll replenish my strength and keep the pneuma before it leaves the lungs of humans. He stands in the same spot for a few breaths, then finally looks back at you. So I need to offer magic to the altar. What must we do next? When you deliver the seed to me, we'll leave, though we'll need time to get to Old Pagos and back. 'Tis a long road for a shell of my years, but the totem's gift will keep me strong. Tell me more about the seed. His voice becomes confident and solemn. Beholder bears but one fruit a year, and only if its hunger is satisfied. The heart of this fruit, its seed, holds a great power of youth, strength, and magic. Therefore, when the winter ends, the people of Howler's Dell gather at its feet and give away the pneuma held in their blood and possessions. 'Tis a sacrifice that would kill a single soul, but when shared by many, 'tis but a sign of acceptance, an act of overcoming pain. Do you have anything I could give the altar? His blue eyes are kind. He reaches into a pouch that was previously hanging from his neck. I cannot say I trust you, but I want to believe you'll prove to be honest. Take this. As he reaches out, you see a flat, bluish pebble lying on his open palm. You could go to any stream and find hundreds of rocks like this one. 'Tis a gift I received a few years back, a rock filled with pneuma by Utica, the enchantress. Once put in one's mouth, it brings back the strength of one's exhausted pneuma, or it kills you if you're nae a spellcaster. Put it on the altar and it'll help you feed it. I see. What will I get in return for all this? He looks toward a brown rat that wanders near the rocks, looking for seeds. Who can tell? I hold nae treasures to share, and I'll do my part, nae for a reward, but for my belief that 'tis the right thing to do. Maybe the monks keep something in a chest in that disgusting temple of theirs. Maybe? Alright, I know everything I need. If you say so, traveler. If you say so. How long would it take me to get there? 30 minutes, and then an hour and 15. Do you think I could do it? Should I try it? Should I do it? I have snake bait. I forgot I had that. Okay. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I gave a lot of blood to the tree already, but my vitality is full, and now we have a magic rock. So maybe we'll be able to do something? He says he doesn't trust us, but I want to prove myself. I can save old Pagos. And I think we're gonna do that next time. We explored, we got to Gale Rocks, we learned about it, and now we have another village. We're doing a lot of good. We made it all the way to the end over at the pier. We could still go up from here, but we need to get there. I think we've reached the end of... This might be the last place we need to explore, and then we've seen everything, and then we can start traveling more and more. Because we won't have to run into the darkness. So I want to open Old Pagos. I'm willing to do this, but I'm scared. So we're gonna wait. Maybe we'll do it tonight, and then sleep at Howler's Dell and then come back. I don't know. Or come back to him. What does Seek Shelter do? I'm gonna save and Seek Shelter. What would that look like? It's too dangerous to stay here. The closest shelter is Howler's Dell. Okay, I see. Gotcha. We have 2 hours before dusk, so we might be able to do it, we might not. We'll see. Maybe we go to sleep at Howler's Dell, go to the Beholder, go to him, then go to Old Pagos. Maybe that's a better thing to do? We'll think on it, but I think that's our next course of action now that we've gotten to Gale Rocks. That's probably the best thing we can do if we want to help more people. And we'll do all of that next time. But until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember to track down that punk and get your Empress carp, dang it! And have a good day.